You play chess? You want to know all the secrets of grandmasters? You want to watch all current tournaments and know everything about chess history?
Levitov Chess World is much more than everything above.
Unique documentaries about Garry Kasparov, Vladimir Kramnik, and many other legends of chess. Streams from the biggest tournaments. World Championship, Magnus versus Nepomniachtchi, commented by Peter Svidler, Evgenij Miroschnichenko. The Candidates Tournament, Tata Steel Chess Tournament. Exclusive interviews, Daniil Dubov, Viswanathan Anand, Jean-Christophe Duda, Alexander Grishuk, and of course, awesome educational videos with elite international chess coaches. Play chess, love chess, and subscribe now. New video every week. Turn on notifications and don't miss all the exciting moments of the chess world.
It depends if they know who he is, because in Norway most people know who he is, and they usually recognize me because I've heard we look quite similar, but they usually ask a lot of questions about him, and it's like the focus shifts over to chess, and it's often like kind of silly questions like, how is it to be Magnus' sister? It's like, well, it's like being anybody's sister, except I get to travel and do this and that, but he's still just my brother, so. But I think that's the most common question. Yeah, he's 4 years or 3.5 older than me. Not really. Because he was 8, I think, so I was only 4. And I think I was way too busy in my own life. But I remember when I started playing when I was like 5 or 6. So then he was already quite good and playing, so that I remember. No, I mean, we played a lot when we were younger. Like normal siblings, I think. Just normal stuff, like playing football and teasing each other. Magnus loves to tease me and to be quite mean, but it's okay, it's like kids. And we never actually played that much chess because he was so good. So it wasn't any fun for us. But he would like watch us play and come with suggestions and stuff like that. No, I usually don't talk that much about chess with him. I think it's not that natural. I might, if I haven't come to a tournament and something special happened, like maybe he did a really good tournament or a really bad tournament, maybe I just comment on it. And then we usually talk about other stuff. Because, I mean, he talks chess with everyone else all the time. And I hear so much about it, and I have to listen to him talking about chess with my father and with his trainer and all of that as well. So I usually get the stories and then we talk about normal stuff, normal life. I mean, he talks about like his friends, what he's been up to lately, sports a lot, like TV series. Like if we watch the same TV series, he'll maybe talk about that. And just really normal, boring topics that siblings talk about. Oh, that's a hard question. I mean, we have talked a lot about Game of Thrones, but I figure everyone has seen that series. And yeah, some Norwegian TV series sometimes. Yeah, but it's like the mainstream that everyone watches. Oh, that's a hard question. Maybe Varys. I think he's really cool. I think Magnus thinks he's cool as well. And he, yeah, He likes the odd ones. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, because they think a lot and they're like the puppet masters, or just figure out what to do and not in the battle themselves. That's a good question. I haven't been living at home for the last 3 years or something. So I just know what he does from what he tells me. And that's like watching basketball, playing basketball, playing football, going out to eat with friends, just hanging out with friends, maybe going partying every now and then. I think that's what it does. Yeah, some of the same friends, because I was playing chess as well when I was little, and the chess community in Norway isn't that big. So since we're not so far away in age, we have a couple of the similar friends. And the same with our older sister Ellen. Yeah, a lot of different things. Like sometimes they just hang out at home, maybe order in dinner, play some video games or watch a movie or something like that, or they go out to eat. And he loves to watch any kind of sports, so of course they do that. Yeah, it's just really normal stuff, I guess. Not that much. He's very private. Okay. He's a very private person. So, but I try to find out something, but it's hard. And the most important is that he's happy with that person, and if he's happy, then I guess I have to say it's okay. Yeah, we have always, as a family, played a lot of board games, obviously, and a lot of cards, just like normal card games, and of course Avalon. And it's usually like when Magnus finds a new game that he likes, we're forced to try it, and then we have to like it because we have to play it. But then we usually also do, because we're so competitive, all of us. So. Yeah, usually. No, I mean, he always likes to be really competitive and joke about the other players. Yeah, I think I read it as a child at some point, because I mean, it's Swedish and it's so close to Norway, so I think I read it. Probably, or mom and dad probably read it to us at some point when we were little. I don't know if he's a big jam eater. No, I don't think so. He eats a lot of different stuff, but I don't think jam is his favorite. I think he's always been an active child, and he's always loved to play sports. So I think the focus has not been that much on really working out, but just being active and having fun with it. So I think it's just been a natural part of his life for such a long time. I think we started traveling together as a whole family from like 2003 or something. So that's a long time ago. And it was just because it was a good way to get the whole family together on vacation and also let Magnus play. So
Thank you very much for talking to us. It's a big pleasure and honor for us. I mean, we're a relatively new channel, and you've never gave interviews to any of the Russian channels. So thank you. How are you after all these tournaments lately that were not particularly great for you? I saw every game of yours, and I saw your frustration. Sometimes you seemed tired. Are you tired from playing online?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say that. Obviously, like any tournament that ends the way that it ended for me, with a disappointment, is you sort of have the feeling like it was very close and there could have been more. But I would say like recently I haven't been playing well at all. I haven't like been feeling um, that things are breaking through. So looking back, I'm still feeling like the last tournament was a step in the right direction. Yes, there were still lots of things that I could do better, but I still feel like I played some good games and I could actually yeah, be a little bit creative even sometimes. So it wasn't that bad.
No, of course it wasn't bad, but as I know you, as I see you, you want to win every game and every tournament you participate in. So you still get upset when you don't win. Is it the same? Is that the same kind of feelings you had 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or you get used to things like that?
No, I think it's still the same feeling to be honest. So it's all. I think it's about how you sort of deal with it in in um, in retrospect after the tournament. But certainly, like right in the moment, I get just as upset when I lose as I used to. Like the drive to try and win every game, that's certainly still the same.
Do you miss the regular offline chess life?
I certainly miss playing regular tournaments. Yeah, I was very grateful to have the opportunity to play in Vaikonce, and I would love to do more of that. Um, I think it's been great to have the opportunity to play online, to play high quality chess there, but doesn't mean that I don't want to play over the board anymore. So whatever opportunities I can have for that this year, I will be very happy
Was
to have.
is it the same thing for you to play online and offline? I mean, if you, of course, offline you usually play classical games, and online you never play classical game. But imagine you play some rapid tournament offline. Is it the same thing that you play in the Chess 24 tournaments, or it's a different thing?
I think it's quite similar. Yeah, the sort of the feelings that I have, the thoughts that I have, they're not that different. So as you said, the main difference is the time control, and I simply think that people don't have the patience to sit at home and play classical games online. But I think apart from that, the difference is not um, is not that great. I think at the start, I feel like I saw the board a bit differently online. Like maybe there are some geometries and so on that you can sort of feel better when you're playing over the board. But I feel with experience that difference is not so big now.
Okay. Uh, as as we all saw, Chess24 does an amazing online work now. So they're organizing 10 tournaments per year, and they created some sort of like separate chess life apart from the regular chess life that is almost, let's say, dead now. So are you a bit concerned that everything, as a world champion, are you concerned that everything, almost every aspect of chess life moved online now, and the grandmasters and the chess masters from, let's say, from, I don't know, 2500 rating, they don't have a job now actually. So
Yeah, I think there are certainly new opportunities online for people who want to make a living from chess, but purely from playing. Of course, it's getting very difficult. Also, one thing is, like, in a longer perspective, I'm not sure that it's great that you sort of educate younger players to become only rapid and blitz players online. So I think in that sense, it's not fully a positive thing that so many things are online now. But yeah, yeah, it's just a very difficult question, and I think in general what you need to do is adapt, like
Somehow.
yeah, somehow, like if you used to make a living playing open tournaments and traveling around Europe, for instance, and this is not a possibility anymore, then yeah, that's bad. But you have to adapt, and yeah, otherwise you won't get by. But certainly it's not been easy for everybody. I know. Sure. Also in Norway, a lot of young players who have very few opportunities now. So yeah.
You play chess? You want to know all the... You play chess? You want to know all the secrets of grandmasters? You want to watch all current tournaments and know everything about chess history?
Levitov Chess World is much more than everything above.
Unique documentaries about Garry Kasparov.
Okay, to more happier news, FIDE announced the second leg finally of the candidates tournament in April. Let's hope it finally happens. And before that, they announced a match in Dubai in December, I think, or November.
November and into December.
Yeah, so that will be your 5th World Championship match, and you've been struggling in the last 2. And I've heard you saying a few times that the format of the World Championship matches is a bit outdated. And I even heard that you proposed like 4 rapid games instead of 1 classical game, which I am advocating 100% for. Are you still on this position? What do you think about the ideal World Chess Championship match nowadays?
Look, it depends on what you want to see. Like if you want to see who the best player is, then you should play a lot of games.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that. I think what happens now is that when you play 12 or 14 games, it's a pretty short distance, and I really think that the value of a mistake is very high, and it's really like against any of the top players, it's really hard to get back if you've lost an early game there. So I think the format is not great for deciding who the best player is, and I think it's only good in the sense that the matches are almost certainly going to be very tight, and there's going to be intrigue about who is going to win until the very end. But I think as a system for determining the best player, it's not very good.
Okay. And what do you think about changing to rapid games overall, or should we stay in the classical format if we, I mean, in terms of the whole World Chess Championship cycle? World Cup, candidates?
Look, I don't know. I think classical chess still has a place. I just don't know if it should be the number one priority, if it should be the most prestigious. So I don't think people should stop playing. I think it has some value that there is a cycle, but certainly, yeah, I would prefer the championship to be rapid.
Okay. The FIDE announced $2 million as a prize fund for the World Championship match, which is obviously the best we have in chess. Is a World Championship match. It's been hugely followed all around the world. Every World Championship match, and Chess24 is spending $1.5 million on the 10 tournaments they're doing per year. I see some bad logic here. So where are we going in this direction? Why aren't there more money in the format that is supposed to be our like locomotive driving us forward? By us, I mean the chess world. And online, everything is developing. You are Play Magnus is now on the stock market and is doing pretty well. Chess24 is developing, Chessable is developing, Chess.com, everything online develops very rapidly and fast, especially after the series from Netflix. And offline, it's slowly going down. And for example, one of the matches of Karpov-Kasparov had almost twice as prize fund as we have now. So any ideas how to change that?
I don't know. Still, I think the prize fund is up from what it was last time. So that's an improvement. I don't know, to be honest.
So you're okay with that, right?
Look, I certainly
what to do?
Yeah, I don't think it's a great development. Clearly, there have been matches with more money and more prestige in the past, but I understand that it's not an easy job.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. In today's Game 10 of the World Championship match, I'm Peter Svidler. With me is my friend Evgenij Miroschnichenko, and we will be covering what has become a bit of a procession, honestly. And today is potentially a challenging day for Jan after already 2 difficult days in a row. Do you think Magnus is interested in ending it very quickly, or is he okay with once again playing some kind of symmetrical Petrov?
It's weird. Yeah, we've just briefly discussed the idea of winning today's game, kind of finishing up one day earlier. But at the same time, it will all break down to not losing with black, I'm guessing. Like winning the match. So he's absolutely entitled to make a draw today and then concentrate on the black game, because next is white and So yeah, I do expect a fight, but once again, not sure about the opening choice. Maybe it'll be E4 and then kind of play the Petrov being minus 3
exactly.
in the match.
We were asked in chat what we think about the opening predictions for today, and I think the pure Neidorf is extremely unlikely, but in terms of just playing something, I mean, d4 is very solid, but also just playing e4, asking Jan. I mean, we kind of know it's not the Petrov with the -3 score. I mean, if you want to play the bishop b5 check positions, sort of be my guest, because the options black has in this position are either like genuinely unattractive or extremely, extremely dry and very, very well researched. For instance, like 97 by this point, I would suggest is more or less a forced draw if black wants to equalize. Or, of course, you can go for a position where you're worse, which is maybe a better choice considering the match situation, but also not very much fun against Magnus, just being slightly worse in a safe position by move 15.
Hang on, you are worse in what line after bishop b5?
I mean,
just to... you mean knight d7?
Yeah, like bishop
castles,
d3, and
yeah?
you can play with the setups with g6, for instance.
Yeah.
Which
No, I just thought you've meant the other way of blocking against bishop b5 check, and you're
no,
worse,
I think bishop
obviously
bishop
aware
d7.
of. I mean, like bishop d7 seems perfectly solid and maybe more of a draw than
Exactly,
knight
yeah,
d7.
but you know, the time for solidly equalizing out of the opening probably is gone. You know, you're no longer very interested in that by this point in the match, I would suspect. So, yeah, the choices for Yana just you know, they aren't great. Whatever Magnus chooses to do on move 1, Jan obviously would like some kind of a, you know, score a goal of prestige, as I don't know if that expression, I'm very sure it exists, but I'm not sure if that's what it is in English. But it's going to be difficult after the games 8 and 9, because not only has he lost 2 in a row, he also lost them the way he lost them, and that for him I think will be the biggest challenge to overcome.
Yeah.
On this side of the screen, I'm slightly under the weather, and I was introduced to a very, very beautiful expression. I feel the general mubble fubbles today are very strong, so we probably will start imbibing earlier than usual, because the old school approach of warming yourself up from the inside perhaps can deal with some of the blues that is being felt right now.
Peter, tell me, Twitch chat had a theory that our potential guest on this stream was the closest one to beat Magnus in the match. And he is, according to some, he is still a favorite in the forthcoming candidates, along with Ali Reza, who, by the way, let me remind you, is also in the candidates.
Well, I mean, Sergey did lead in their match. He is, I think, so far the only one who has ever led in a World Championship match against Magnus. So, by that metric, it's just it's a statement of fact. It's not even a statement of opinion.
Yeah, but on the other hand, wouldn't you agree that it was kind of a Magnusy fault, not Sergey's achievement that he was leading? I mean, like kind of not winning a couple of games, game 2, game 3. I mean, from completely winning positions.
I mean, it's one of those kind of yes, but also no, because you never really. It feels very, very unfair to claim that Sergey has had no agency in that match. Magnus had some missing chances, but you still need to, he defended extremely well. The one chance he had in that match, specifically game 8, the moment he actually got a position he could win, he won it. So, yeah, I mean, blaming Sergey for Magnus's missing chances feels a bit meh to me.
Yeah, it is unfair, but no, I mean, I don't like when people stretch it the other way around.
Yeah,
I mean that's my point. Like almost the world champion is a little bit too much. I mean, you've led in the match, but
yeah, I think that there needs to be a balance, because the likelihood of him actually winning that match. I mean, you can make an argument that maybe he was sort of within one decision of becoming a very, very heavy favorite to win the New York match, because game 10 at some point.
You mean the one, the black game where he could have gone for the repetition?
If he spots a repetition there in game 10, it becomes a best of 2 where he needs to score 1 out of 2, right? And the way his openings were constructed for that match, I mean, it's not impossible that Magnus wins the last one with white, but by that point the pressure on him would have been really, really, really immense, and it's hard to say how it would have turned out.
Okay, to sum things up, I think YouTube chat has it for a change.
Yes, but actually no is my
no.
I assume Frustock is also referring to one of my all-time favorite gifs of the pirate dude from whatever it is. Very sure it's a British animated thingy with a plasticine thing. I'm extremely eloquent today, but I think you'll be hearing the word thingy quite a lot today. I will be using the word thingy to describe all kinds of thingies. Because
because that's the way.
Yeah, because I think the thingies have completely disappeared from my mind due to other thingies. Yeah, I'll stop with the bit for now.
I'm in charge now, says Bywork 12.
Yeah.
And I don't know, does he just misspell yar? No, I'm in charge now.
Yeah.
Should have been yar, no?
Where is Kramnik is the pressing question of today.
Where is Kramnik?
He is maybe in the Russian studio. I don't know. I've not actually opened the Russian stream properly, but he was supposed to be doing the Russian streams for a while. I think he was supposed to fly into Moscow, and I think he has.
So, any hot takes from body language experts?
I think they're missing so far. Is he already there? And yeah, I will endeavor to use thingamajig. Thingamajig is a nice word. I like thingamajig.
So body language experts saying Miro is drinking on stream.
No, those are those are not body language experts. We've established that those are precogs. Because I don't think you are yet, but you will be hopefully soon.
Do.
Because I'm about to.
I do.
Okay, yeah, and the people asking what's the drink of the day today. I bought this a couple of days ago, so I'm trying this.
And believe me, Peter has no financial involvement whatsoever with this particular brand.
Hashtag not an ad.
Loves to show off. So.
Yes, absolutely. Like, what's the point of drinking single malt if you're not an insufferable bastard about it? Like,
absolutely, yeah. I mean, at least you have to make a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's just clearly a misplay if you don't make a huge big deal of exactly what you're drinking and show the bottle on stream and everything.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
And all the rest. What's legal drinking age in Russia? I think we've crossed it by then. I mean, you can safely assume that we are legal to drink.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, on average, we kind of could have a couple of toddlers on the stream and still would be, I mean, on average would be legal.
Probably, yeah, I think. Yeah. This kind of, I paused and got a bit sad because I realized that probably the likeliest way for this to happen is, like I could conceivably become a grandfather at, any time in the near future. So.
But what's sad about this? I mean, those are great news.
Maybe. I mean, it's mainly the fact that people will address me as grandfather. I really wouldn't mind. I actually kind of like small children. It's just that,
I mean, think of all the dirty, naughty, old past scenarios. I mean, it's not that bad.
Okay, is it actually better again? Goodness gracious.
Okay, a couple of hours of talking and then, lovely afternoon with single malt.
And thank you, Linus, but I was just talking in hypotheticals. I mean, my kids are 19. It's a possibility. But as far as I know, it's not imminent. So this wasn't a concrete discussion of things that are absolutely forthcoming in the near future. Let's pretend the last 5 days didn't happen, Kekal. Yeah. Kekal indeed. I don't know how surprised Magnus is by this, honestly. Because, I mean, it's a sensible enough decision from Jan. He, stopping the bleeding today is not a poor choice at all. In the state that he's in, winning the match will require, a superhuman feat of strength anyway. So just taking a bit of a breather, making sure that it actually reaches the the final long weekend is not stupid. It's just that Magnus probably expected Najdorf or Beards or something.
Yeah. That's a beautiful argument in the Twitch chat. Jan paid Lekov for all the Petrov prep work, and now he's using it.
Yeah, that does seem like a very unless he wants to go 95 knight c6, like for the proper memes here, like just go 95 knight c6 here and kind of smirk.
What was the refutation? I mean, let's bring it up on stream. I mean, because I'm sick and tired of this Stafford, whatever it is. I mean, I think it's knight c6, d3, bishop e3.
Yeah, and also I remember we were discussing this. Were you there? We were discussing this during the Yekaterinburg candidates in the Shisha place with you weren't there that evening. Yeah, we were discussing this with Kirill, and Daniel Dubov was there. And he was planning to play it. I think he was playing in some sort of speed chess championship thing. I can't remember against who. And he was seriously planning to do this with black. And then he said, I looked around for like 20 minutes and I realized there are so many problems with it that I'm not going to. And in particular, you can just go d4 here and be instantly somewhat better without any risks whatsoever. So. And knight takes e4, queen e2 apparently wins a piece, which is a bit of an issue. Obviously, you're not obliged to go knight takes e4, but this is...
So black kind of has to take on e5, then on e4.
And then you get some kind of, like knight e5, d, knight e4. I'm sorry, that's a misclick. And I guess you go like queen e5, and then bishop c4, and knight c3, bishop e3. You're better. You're not winning, but you're definitely better here with white. Anyway, Stafford is not happening. Jan did play d6. And
welcome, fellows. Bashers
we can actually finally ask the body language expert on his opinion. So far he is not commenting on the body language, though. He's just saying it will be a draw, which is not the hottest take in the world. Oh, knight d3. Okay.
Knight d3.
Exciting. The knight went to a weird square. I mean,
remember. Well, wait a second. Was it?
Yeah, that's one of the five
right?
games. Yeah, queen e2, queen e7, knight f4, and you have a choice between this extremely weird position, which is what they played, and you can also just play c6 here. You're not going to be much worse.
You can play c6 and be okay, and lose eventually, as I did against Sasha Motilev.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I have a story, Peter. I don't know. I mean, we have a lot of kind of educated people in the chat who, by the way, I mean, probably know who Alexander Motilev is, right? Very strong grandmaster, 2700 on multiple occasions, European champion, and also the coach for Sergey Karjakin for the national team for quite a few years. Right. And the first game we've played with Motilev was back in 1996, I guess. Yeah, 96. And it was a international master norm round robin where we both scored a norm with 1 round to spare and was playing each other. And I was white and I was, tired. I was chicken and I still am. So I offered a draw. I mean, mission accomplished. It's 13 rounds round robin. You know, you've played 12 games. You had enough. Okay, the guy says no. All of a sudden, I'm winning this game. And okay, no big story there. Okay, we've played fair game. I won. Shit happens. And then, 20 years later, Baku Olympiad. And one of the evenings, we have a small talk. And we've played, after that, of course, we've played quite a few games where both being 26, 50, whatever. It was all draws in various Bundesliga tournaments, open tournaments. And then 20 years later, one of the evenings, we have a small talk and the guy says, I still remember that I have to apologize because I would absolutely take a draw if not for my coach who said you have to play. Imagine, I mean, he's a freaking teddy bear, not a human. I mean, the guy lost 20 years ago and he is apologizing. I mean, he remembers it all the bloody time and he wants to apologize for not accepting a draw. Okay, so I'm so happy I lost to him in my last tournament over the board.
Yeah.
I mean, last classical tournament.
I love him dearly. We used to work together. I took a,
No, seriously, Sasha is a very, 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 can't stress this enough, very nice guy.
Also, we share a birthday, which saves us some, phone charges, because one of us calls the other, and we kind of say happy birthday, and then we're done for the year. So, which is always extremely useful.
Isn't it just wars?
I mean, depending on your definition of wars, I think you're going to be a.
I mean, C3, F3, your knight's restricted.
I mean, you're probably not entirely equal, but it's not.
I mean, not like
Exactly,
wars, but that's kind of a position which makes you puke over the board when you're like on -3.
I don't know why we're doing this to ourselves, but as black, I mean, is he sort of? I mean, it's not going to happen, but is he inviting Magnus to play bishop b3 here and keep the queens on?
Yeah, kind of bishop e3, knight c3 to get ambitious and so on. Not
I don't think it's terrible at all, honestly. I'm kind of interested. I guess maybe we play bishop g4, f3, bishop f5 or something, and pretend we're threatening something. I don't know. But if this backfires, it backfires kind of badly.
Knight c4.
Because
3
now before
knight
b5
b4
check, yeah.
maybe. You still
but
have a
but the bishop is
check, and
hanging.
then
Yeah, I don't know what
c6.
this is. Yeah, I have no idea what this is. Maybe it's just good for black.
There was
c6 as well. Yeah, e6 is probably stronger. Yeah, not to even give a chance to take on b7. But the bigger issue with the move bishop b3 is that I don't think Magnus is interested necessarily. I think he is just perfectly fine playing c3 and.
Maybe bishop e6 is what is meant.
Where?
C3, bishop e6, not trading the queens that way. But on the other hand, I mean, I take if pawn
exactly,
takes
like g3, bishop g2. Yeah.
How happy are you?
I'd be suddenly very interested in my position with white here. I think white is like genuinely already quite a bit better. So if my opponent does this to avoid queen trades, I feel like my opening gambit kind of very much worked out. So what are we missing? What are we missing in chat? Yeah, looking forward to the presser already, says Neil. Jan, you drew today against the best player in the world, as black. Did you know you needed to beat him? Why didn't you beat him? Yeah, the pressers have become like an art. They've become kind of an art form in their own right, with people I think competing for like the dumbest or the most insensitive question that is possible to ask while still being accredited. And there's quite a few contenders, as I understand. I'm not watching the pressers, but you don't even need to watch. Like Twitter will provide you.
I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah,
it's like you open Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter provides you with instant details on the latest round of inane questions. Which, I mean, even Anish, who in general I think is very much in favor of trolling. I briefly took a look at. I looked at the Twitter profile, and that Twitter profile basically retweeted a lot of Anish's stuff over the last days. And Anish apparently at some point tweeted, the journalists are abusing the fact that Jan is being so gracious this tournament. And I thought, yeah, there's definitely an element of that, because, I mean, they're definitely, it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect a bit of a blow up after some of the stuff he has to answer after very difficult games already. Anyway, old people, scream at journalists is not, I mean, it's definitely a genre, but I don't know if you want to start doing that so heavily in the first 15 minutes of the broadcast.
Yeah. There is a conspiracy in the chat that you are not reading Anish's tweets directly, but
no, I am, but I don't actually have the I broke apart my Twitter follows into lists, and for this particular event, I feel like I have enough daily chess intake without actually keeping the my chess list open, so I do miss stuff. Because I follow a lot of people. Like I follow by this point something like 1,500 people.
1,500.
Yeah. So
people.
My timeline is unreadable. You have to read lists, and I don't actually keep my chess list open all the time. Anyway.
So getting the like from you on Twitter means a lot.
Absolutely.
Then.
yeah,
Achievement
very,
unlocked
very much,
today.
very much so. Yes. Are there even 1,500 people? Asks Angela Julius. It's a solid question that needs some, some investigative journalists need to get on this and figure out if there's actually 1,500 people on Twitter, or in the world. Even, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we are living in some sort of simulation. I mean, how many viewers do we have? We don't have 1,500.
No,
right?
We have about 500 right now.
And we are such an awesome duo, so I think all the real people, they're already there.
I think that's a very, very good confirmation for
living in some sort of a metaverse, and with all those Twitter profiles being just simulated.
I have David. I'm using a thingy that combines the chats from both Twitch and YouTube, and it actually gives me a combined figure for both streams. So that's the figure I was quoting. Feel very important for me to defend the honor of this stream by pointing out that I'm not just making up figures out of thin air. Seems like Magnus actually is seriously considering going bishop b3.
Yeah, because people say knight c6 apparently is a novelty. I mean, I don't believe it can be like a novelty, because, it's move 7, so any dumb shit should have been tried by then.
Pretty much. But then again, knight d3 is such a niche thing that maybe there is simply not that much traffic from here, so that could be the explanation. But yeah, considering the general approach, and you can sort of guess at the general approach when Magnus just goes knight d3, move 4, I would have expected him to not even care that this is a novelty, not even care about any kind of niceties of where the pieces go here. I have a very solid option, I'm just going to play my very solid option and, move on. Next question, please. Next slide. But he seems to be interested in actually maybe getting something out of the opening. Maybe the way to do... No, that doesn't work. Sorry, I was briefly interested in playing something like queen b5 here, castles, and maybe knight c3, but there's a kind of a big issue with this plan. In that knight takes d4 exists. Although actually the game sort of continues after queen a4. But there's no reason for Magnus, I think, to get involved with any of that.
Would you tell me for how long it continues?
Yeah,
because like knight c6, knight d5, it might not continue for.
Yeah, I was going to play bishop b5. Yeah,
actually looks very dangerous.
No, I wasn't kidding. It's just that I think it's just completely unnecessary considering the match situation. But somewhat shockingly, I actually think this is an unclear position. Despite the fact that I blundered the central pawn, I obviously did not see this was going to happen.
I mean, it could be. My argument is that it could be a clear position where black is not happy how clear it is.
Also very possible, yeah. People are saying how serious is g5 after bishop b3. It's definitely a move you can try, yeah, like knight d3 and then...
Knight had been to
like
d3
h6
already.
Maybe, and then bishop g7, bishop f5. Could be a very play...
Well, technically you have knight d5, which is a bit more ambitious than h6.
Yeah.
So bishop g5, trade on e2, knight d4. How good/bad is that?
Probably very playable for black. Just bishop g7, bishop f5. I like black here. I think black is better.
Yeah.
So after knight d5, we probably need to play something else. I don't know what that something else is. And
it's not much of
something
else.
I just want to point out that I looked at knight g4, but here, first of all, knight d5 might be very strong. And even something like this is not unplayable because we will land one of the knights on d5. But it's very different here.
Yeah, but knight d5 just wins.
Yeah, knight d5 probably just wins after knight g4. But here, if I could play knight c3, knight f3... Sorry, if I could play knight c3 and expect this to happen, I'd be quite happy with white, I think. But of course, black, I think, takes on c3. and then goes.
And then we get a game.
But maybe this is playable for white, yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah,
unclear
G5 is still
game.
hanging, so you have to spend the tempo protecting it somehow. Maybe bishop b6. And then I will just play, I would like to play g3, bishop g2, but there's bishop d5.
This or queen d2,
Yeah.
bishop e2, if you're
Or
a bit
even
more
that,
modest,
yeah,
right? I
or
mean,
if I'm really, really optimistic, maybe I can go like
queen h5.
queen h5 and maybe even h4.
That's even that. Because g4,
Yeah, g4, d5.
yeah.
Or I didn't actually see d5. I was planning just to win the f4 square for the knight, but winning a piece in one move is probably not a bad idea. So yeah, this actually becomes very sharp. And bishop e3 in general, of course, as viewers, as somebody who would like to have something to watch today, we should be very much in favor of Magnus playing bishop e3 here. But I suspect he will consider quite carefully and then still play c3, to be honest. Just because I think he wants to be annoying. He doesn't really, I'm pretty sure he would like to win the game today, but I think he would like to win it sort of in the same fashion that he won game 8. By playing something sort of soul-destroyingly boring and expecting Jan to just, start making it more complicated by making suboptimal decisions just because, he is annoyed and also he is losing by 3. So yeah, we'll see. Are we missing any other options? Like d5 is not a move, right? Nobody plays d5 here.
Peter, I've had some, so I'm afraid I'll need your help in translation into English as a more experienced caster. But I have an expression in Russian. So what Magnus did in game 8? Подавление тупостью.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was looking for a proper way to put it, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's like the Karolian in me very much wants to translate it using the quotes from Alice in Wonderland, but I think I will misremember the quotes. Like I've not read Alice in
I mean
Alice in Wonderland. I've read it in original, but not nearly as often as I've read the Russian translations. And there is a moment there during the court case where they sit on the guinea pig, and they say that the guinea pig has been oppressed,
which said something.
And they say that the guinea pig has been oppressed, and or maybe I think it is oppressed, not depressed, and Alice says, "Now I know what they mean when they say in the papers that the uprising has been oppressed," or something along those lines, but.
Okay, so what I said in Russian was basically to try to oppress your opponent with stupidity, with dumbness, stuff like that.
The noun also needs to be translated precisely for the full meaning of it to become clear. But basically, just kind of the oppressive boringness and dumbness of what you're doing is a very, very strong weapon in experienced hands against somebody like Jan, who needs to play for a win and also is probably not in the best.
He's Magnus the guinea pig.
Probably not, no. Probably not. I think all the viewers here are guinea pigs, and we are experimenting on, just
trying to
just how off topic can we get with our absolutely pointless discussions of translations of Lewis Carroll before people just start leaving in droves. So yeah, that would be my guess here.
Yeah, I'm afraid, Peter, you just raised the bar for for an entry level for this stream to extreme highs. Imagine people watching the board and stopping right here. I mean,
yeah, hang on. Let me check if something is happening. No, something appeared to have happened on my other screen, but I can't really reconstruct what that was. I didn't even realize 93 was a thing, says Michael A. It isn't really, but Magnus did play it in a game against Fabi, which I think was hang on a second. No. That was there was one game between Magnus and Fabian. There was also this absolutely insane game between Vlad and Fabian, but that went differently. Yeah, I think Vlad played knight c3 in the Berlin candidates.
Yeah.
And this looks like it has to be like the most boring position in existence. And it turned out to be one of the most fun games I've ever witnessed and commentated upon somehow. Shockingly, this turned out to be an absolute thriller, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but still, it's a very, very niche move which people don't really play very, very often. Matches in general are quite unusual ADH, so, finding yourself at -3 in a match, you kind of have to be playing specifically a World Championship match, because most matches are just finished when you reach -2, because the general length of it is much shorter, so probably no. Probably the answer is just no. Very few things can be compared to being -3 in a World Championship match. And thanks very much for the long quote from the. And it is. I was suppressed, not. I knew I was not getting this right. And appreciate the effort, Volkan. I botched it very thoroughly there. Make a move. Or, like, we should start making threats to the players, right? Like, make a move now, or I will, proceed from the discussion of Alice to the discussion of the hunting of the snark and the existential dread that any person with a heart must feel when reading that.
What are the drinking rules?
Every line suggested is a shot. No, that actually is like life-threatening. I don't...
Yeah, Peter loves to suggest lines, so that's a little bit... That's taking it a little bit too far.
Yeah.
Can we go by no rules this time? I mean, it's not very long ago that I've realized, I've been living my life following various rules that people invented on me, and I've kind of never had a control or, responsibility. I was just following the rules. So can we go no rules, just, casual drinking?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It is brillig, and the
So no rules works, yeah. Confirmed in Twitch.
It's... Also, why am I talking to YouTube Jorbs? YouTube Jorbs, in my experience, is like a mythical creature which I've never actually encountered. And now for some reason I'm talking to YouTube Jorbs. I want my mini Jorbs back.
The fake rules. Yeah, okay. The fake rules. We are only drinking when Nepo wins in this match.
Yeah. Casually drinking should be a Twitch category. Yeah, we could be, in the category that we're streaming right now, people have to scroll down quite a bit before they find our stream. If casually drinking becomes a category, maybe we can be sort of the front runners and attract attention to what we're doing that way.
Yeah. That's finally how I get my Twitch partners.
Yeah. It's going to be such a letdown if he... perfect timing. I was going to say, and he thinks for like 20 minutes here and still doesn't play bishop e3, and, we all kind of die a little bit more inside. If that is even possible. Assuming there's, any more of us, any of us left to die some more inside, we die some more. Why not bishop e3, Magnus? Come on, leave a little.
Is there any way, like maybe go g5.
You could, yeah,
here,
but I don't know if, like, I'm not...
kind of to expand a little. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it gets challenged straight away, but maybe we can play rook g8 and claim that it doesn't get challenged very hard, right? We just...
Maybe play rook g8 at once.
Oh, yeah.
Not that it
yeah, fair enough.
changes
Yeah,
much,
just start with
perhaps.
rook g8. Yeah. g5 incoming, best move, says Seville. Yeah, g5 does feel like it's a very possible reaction, because knight on f4 is a good piece. And...
Yeah, like we could illustrate it otherwise, right? Because it might seem to some that black kind of leads in development by just just the head count. So say you play bishop e2, bishop d7, and I play some f3, right? What do I do? Bishop d7, f3.
You want to
okay,
play...
or you
I'm not
trade
even sure about it,
bishop
but maybe
d7,
f3, yeah.
f3.
Maybe just cut things, like restrict the pieces a little bit.
Yeah, castle's long, and even play h4 just to stop g5. Rook e8, and then I take on e7, giving you all the bloody tempi, bishop e7, king f2. Yeah. And I'm ready to claim that white is, okay, maybe not better for real, but his position is more
Yeah, I think
pleasant
it's a
to
bit
play.
better for white. And I think this is kind of close to... I think this is where they actually ended up in that game between Fabi and Magnus. I think that one went... I will butcher it again, but I think it went like this. Yeah, they got to this position, which is an extremely weird position to get to. And I think Magnus went c3, and I have a feeling c6... I think c6 is possible here, but I think...
c3 is possible?
Yeah, you
Knight
just pick up the
c2?
rook on a8 after. It's fine.
And your other rook?
Hang on. Yeah, maybe not.
Hang on. No, I don't think it's c3.
Maybe not. How did that go?
Knight a3, king d8, c3.
How did that
maybe,
go?
or something
Why
like
can't I did that game live? Why can't I remember anything? But anyway, I think basically at some point, instead of engaging in this continued dance, the knight just went back, and they ended up in some kind of position like this. I want to look it up, but I also don't want to get distracted by second and third screens, so we'll let it go. And yet, Jan just very quickly goes d6, d5, which is a normal move, but much less exciting than g5, obviously. And we were tremendously excited by the prospect of a piece being attacked by a pawn for once in this game. Nothing wrong with d5 though. Nothing wrong with d5. Yeah, we can probably play f3. We can take on e7 and play bishop d3 first to...
f3, I'd be a bit concerned about bishop e6
maybe.
now. So that if you take, pawn takes, and maybe early e5's happening.
Yeah, Magnus goes knight bd2. I was kind of
Knight
reluctant
d2,
to leave the bishop on
okay.
c1 like this, but obviously... Decisions here, the cost of the cost of a decision in this position is not huge. Black can just take and play bishop d6. We'll, I guess, play knight f3. Black can play something like bishop f5. I can't for the life of me imagine why white would be better in this position, but I don't think it's the point of the exercise.
Hang on, but do we go knight f3 or... Because I think it's very, very similar to what Motilev did against
Like knight
with
f1 maybe or
white,
something,
or I did against him with black, and knight f1 was the trick. Yeah, knight f1, f3, h4, trying to build the same
Yeah, this
thing.
is smarter, yeah. It definitely doesn't belong on f3, because you do want to... The bishop on f5 is a very good piece, so you do want to be able to immediately...
Disturb it as soon
challenge
as possible.
Challenge it as early as possible, exactly, yeah. Black is not obliged to take on e2 yet. I guess we can start with bishop f5. I don't think there's much wrong with just starting with bishop f5 and waiting for white to make a move.
Yeah, but then,
No.
what happens? I take on e7, go bishop d3.
Yeah. Marble fubbles are increasing.
Yeah.
As you know, there's the meme. As the meme goes,
That's what I
marble
do,
fubble
I mean.
intensifies. It's definitely intensifying. The more I stare at this position, the more it's intensifying. Spare me. I keep on thinking that Magnus will actually try to do something in all of these games, and Magnus. I mean, he did win the last two, so maybe I'm just, completely talking out of my ass as usual, but this is, such Scandi minimalism. It's quite remarkable just how Scandily minimalistic he is here.
Yeah, those guys are, winning all the design awards not for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, just play. Yeah. By the way, previous game was won after disgustingly beautiful knight d2 move.
Whoa.
Remember, I mean, the kind of the defining line was that he went knight d2 or knight d8. Brilliant.
Yeah, things are happening. Yeah, because something is happening, but you don't know what it is, do you, Mr. Jones? Yeah. Another glass of this, and I will actually start singing those things instead of saying them. Today's stream is progressing very nicely.
Knight h3, knight g8, knight g1. Looks solid, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, knight g8, knight d6 is a sensible kind of an idea, but you do end up with a bishop on c8, kind of slightly homeless. So if I play knight f3 and you play knight d6, I might be tempted to do something like knight d3 and claim that this guy is now kind of sad. The bishop on f8 is also, I don't know where it's going, so maybe black plays bishop f5 here, or yeah, knight g8 confuses me a little bit. Jan is also doing all of this at the speed of light, pretty much, or perhaps the speed of Lint, which is even faster than the speed of light, as we all know. Which is, it tells us absolutely nothing, to be honest. At this point in the match, Jan playing every move instantly tells us absolutely nothing about whether this is prep or not. It should be, but it's not guaranteed that it is. Maybe we just take, and go like bishop d3, stopping bishop f5, and if you go knight d6, we go knight f3, and we claim that this position might even be ever so slightly better for white with like castles, rook e1, although obviously, yeah, we're not talking about anything earth-shattering.
Probably not, but even then, like I go h3.
Yeah, I mean, there's really...
It's not all that much fun playing this with black.
Yeah, you shouldn't really be doing... Like, the feeling has to be that if this is your position by move 8, and then this is your position by move 16, something probably has gone a little bit wrong. Even though you probably do make a draw here with black, but you also will have to suffer for it, at least a bit.
And we will have to suffer, because I do not see how do we avoid the endgame.
Yeah, I mean, white can just do it straight away. This is what we were discussing, like knight d8, we just kind of go in and takes bishop d3.
No, but let's imagine the good scenario. So both kind of refrain from capturing the queen. Is there a way that we do not trade queens? Still not, right? Because the line you've mentioned, knight f3, knight d6, knight d3, I struggle to find a move for black. I mean,
g6, bishop g7, maybe knight e4 or 5 later, I don't know. But you're probably worse here with black, to be honest. I just don't like this very much.
Yeah, because you go g6 by the same token, I could go g3, bishop g2.
I think the white knights on f3 and d3 are slightly better than the black counterparts, and the bishop on c8 is, because there's a knight on e6, is more stupid than the bishop on c1. So white is a bit better. Not by much, but definitely a bit better here. Yeah. Don't know. Jake says we could discuss the Dutch move for like half an hour. Any hot takes? Not really. I was a bit surprised by how apparently, vehement Magnus's reply to seemingly the one question he was asked about it was, but then again, I haven't really been paying any attention to the press conference in the previous matches, and maybe this is not the first time something like this has happened. And he's already answered it previously, so he just feels like they're covering the ground that was well trodden in earlier years. I mean, I think from the video it's very, very clear he is not attempting to move the piece, and forcing him to move it, even if he didn't say anything, would be an interesting precedent. But then again, I'd like, why not just say "Zhdub" under your breath, and just avoid all of the, nobody will ask you a question then. Those are not very hot takes, though. It didn't impact the game in any way. It's kind of completely irrelevant. It's something to write columns about. I am not a columnist, so I don't really care. Is it time to start chanting "Make a move, make a move"? Or are we not there yet?
Not with this time control, Peter.
Fair point. Fair point. Is chess draw if queens come off the board? Very much depends on the position. I think the easy answer is no. Or chess is draw regardless of where the queens come off or not. I think those would be my two immediate answers. Take a sip. Take a sip. Yeah. Cheers.
It's empty. I mean, no optimist pessimist discussion. I mean, it's not half empty, half full. It's bloody empty. So I don't know. Shall I get a refill? Or
Yeah.
what?
I mean, people are by this point, rightly
Kind of
suspicious of you not
justice
drinking.
demands
How many packs
retribution.
did I open? I think I bought the big bundle, so it's like 85, because I also got 5 packs from somewhere else. I can't remember where. Probably this is the first time I actually bought the Tavern Pass, because I was in a kind of a weird mood last night, and I thought, why not?
If Nepo can switch the rook and the queen, he has a winning position.
Yes.
That's,
Even though the queen on
that's-
h8 will make the conversion of the extra queen somewhat tricky, but yeah, he would be. Yeah, not for long. I think it would be.
But same applies to Magnus's position, I have to say. Okay, he's not winning yet because e6. Yeah. Right. No, I thought like if Magnus does the same and has the
Yeah, but
rook on
then
e2,
you have the way to interpose. Yeah.
but it'd be white to
Yeah.
move, right?
I think it kind of
Seriously.
alternates between being in Russian and being in English, and sometimes it actually alternates when I just refresh the page. I don't know why it does that. I'm not very much in control of what the viewer
Because
what
reasons.
the viewer displays at me, but I'm pretty sure we know who the players are. So it's an opportunity for some of you wonderful people to learn some Cyrillics.
Is mirror stand being discussed? All the webcam, that is.
Yeah, Miro is a devilishly handsome individual. Is my considered opinion on the topic, and I'm going to
Okay,
I'm going
thanks
to
very
stand
much.
by it.
Okay, so the trade has happened. He went bishop d6.
Yeah, I guess maybe bishop f5,
And now,
knight h4 was
what-
annoying him a little bit.
Did we say?
I actually like the other version better, but maybe it transposes anyway. Like I think if you wanted to play this setup with white, I would have taken on e7 instead of knight f3, but probably not very much difference.
Mm-hmm.
Stopping bishop f5 is kind of hardwired in I think many of us in these types of positions, because the bishop on c8 arguably is the worst piece that black has, in particular if we deprive it of squares. Like if we don't allow either bishop f5 or bishop g4 takes f3 even, which is sometimes quite useful for black, it often is a bit of a challenge to find squares for it. So I do want to play bishop d3, but I also don't want to spend tempi moving pieces I've already moved. We're in a bit of a quandary
So
here.
all in all, what's the next move?
I still play bishop d3 here, I think. Just to make sure bishop f5 doesn't happen. I assume black plays knight e6, we take, we play h3, we get some kind of a version of what we had before. But the very, very big difference, of course, the bishop is not here. The position we had earlier, if I can find it, looked like this, yeah. And obviously having our bishop on f4 and the black bishop on e7 is a huge big deal because black is quite comfortable here, I think. Here we just don't have anything at all, I would suspect.
Can black do
and yeah, Steve Giddens asks, if Lego has spent the last 5 years analyzing positions like this for money, maybe it's time we crowdfunded an appeal for the poor guy. I mean, I understand the sentiment, but also I know Peter quite well. You know, I've played against him for ages and ages, and we're on very good terms, and I've spoken about chess with him. I actually had a very interesting conversation with him once on the topic of seconding, which was extremely instructive in parts. And what I want to say is, I don't think he is suffering. I think he genuinely just likes looking at chess and he doesn't mind what the position looks like. So, I mean, if I were in his shoes, I would definitely start demanding some kind of, you know, hazard pay. But I think, for Peter, you know, he just like genuinely loves the game so much and really, really likes working on it that I don't think he you know, wishes for our, you know, words are failing me today.
Well, let me do a bit of analysis on stream.
Sure.
I mean, not chess analysis, that is. Are you trying to say, perhaps somewhat indirectly, that you are no longer that much interested in analyzing the game? Because you've said Peter, the other Peter Leko, that is, he would be fine analyzing this boring, if you ask myself, endgame.
Yeah, I think I still enjoy looking at chess quite a bit when the position interests me. But I do try to.
But it's a big web nowadays.
I mean, these days it's mainly like in the context of working with, or even likelier by this point, honestly, working for somebody. Such as when I was trying to. I mean, I don't know how helpful I actually was, but let's say I was helping Kirill prepare for the candidates in Yekaterinburg, or in the context of working on the chessable things. Very nice segue for the picture on screen.
Short castle being played kind of suggests that White doesn't really want to be any inventive.
Yeah, I think he is.
He just castles, goes bishop d3 now.
Yeah, he's. I wouldn't say he's entirely mailing it in today, but once again, but we also had the exact same impression in game 8, and then Jan made a couple of slightly inaccurate moves, and you could just see that Magnus suddenly became interested.
No, I mean the position is still open for a dumb thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
You can do and not like hanging a piece, but just do a couple of silly moves, and you might find yourself being slightly worse, like then worse than lost.
But these structures are obviously like completely symmetrical structures with very, very, in general, symmetrical, even the piece placements. You're not really going to be, you know, pressing very hard. And in particular here after bishop d3, I think it's quite clever to just play rook e8, creating a rather annoying, actually, threat of bishop g4, because knight on f3 will not have the e5 square available to it. So White probably spends a tempo on h3, we go bishop e6, knight e6, and yeah, I mean, we're just not going to be very much worse here with black, are we? You can claim...
I would just
but like the knight actually gets to e4. In many of these positions, White does not really have a very comfortable way of stopping the knight landing on e4. Maybe you can play knight e5. It's just not a lot, if we're honest with ourselves. Here, for instance, I can maybe play c5 and just start trading, using the fact that Ivan is currently hanging. Bishop d3 played. Yeah, we'll see. Jan doesn't have to play rook e8 here, but it looks extremely logical because, you know, occupying the one open file on the board preventing the knight from reaching the e5 square. All of those things feel like they should be in black's favor.
It's just a draw.
Yeah, but we were sort of saying the same thing in game 8, so it has to be taken with a dollop of salt.
French exchange. How does that compare to French exchange? Knight on f4 is kind of a bit more active and strange at the same
and also
time.
in the French exchange, you actually, I think the way white occasionally tries to play the French exchange for a win these days is kind of very concrete, right? So, like, how does this line goes? It goes like, if they play in the most boring symmetrical way possible, you take on e7, and here the issue is you either lose the right to castle, or you do give up the f4 square for the bishop. I think this is how this line goes, right? And obviously there's bishop e6 here, which I think is the game Grishuk Van Hao from the candidates, if I'm not mistaken, and many other games as well. But queen e7 obviously exists, and this would be the closest comparison because the queens do come off. But in this position, black has a choice of either allowing this, and then, I mean, I would argue the symmetrical nature of the position ensures that black is never going to be much worse, but the king is on e7. Or you take with the bishop, and you're extremely solid, but you have given up both of the best squares for the white bishops. So you will have to work a little bit for the equality. Here, I mean, the bishop is on d6, which is very important.
Yeah, rook e8, your moves played.
Yeah, I was playing h3, and I kind of expect Magnus to play h3, because if you make some kind of a waiting move here, bishop g4 I do feel is way too annoying.
Yeah, bishop g4 is annoying. This much we can
we
agree
make knight
upon.
h4 work somehow? I don't think so, right? It just loses a piece. There are no jumps that I can... Without the queens on the board, it's very difficult to find jumps in a position like this that do very much.
He'll just go
exactly,
back
like
to
h3
d7,
or
try to
f3.
play h3 or...
It just returns to d7, and then the fork actually costs white a full piece. Yeah, and then you just don't have squares.
Could we, Peter, do a strange thing? So we go h3 instead of bishop d2, right? Or maybe, yeah, h3 and 96, 95.
Maybe.
So now black kind of is a little bit stuck. If you take on f4, I mean, basically suspend the tempo. Sorry, save the tempo, and 94 is not available yet because d5 is hanging. You could probably go c6.
Yeah, I was looking at some kind of more concrete options, like takes 94 with the idea of f6, but after f3 I don't have squares. And in the meantime, Magnus just kind of insta-plays rook e1. Insta rook e1. Yeah, Magnus is... yeah, I think he's fine with where he is in the match, and also... Yeah, and also, like... in comparison with game 8, Jan actually does not have the option of not trading the queens. The queens are already off the board, so... yeah, you just take on e1, you play 96, and... it's... there's not a lot here to discuss. I guess takes, maybe some sort of f3, and then... Ideally, maybe you want to play g4, knight g2, bishop f4. And if you get all of those things in, maybe you're a little bit better.
How is that on e2?
Yeah, it's a glitch. Yeah, it'll resolve itself.
Okay.
And looks like we are about to have guests, so I'll put up a break screen, hopefully for not more than like 30 seconds, and we'll be back with the young man.
Okay.
And hopefully we're back with Sergey Karjakin, who is taking an opportunity to get some food into him. Obviously, he knows we're about to start drinking, so he is observing proper procedures by getting some food into him before this happens.
Yeah, hello, Peter.
Hi, hello, Sergey. Yeah,
Always nice to hear you.
same here. Yeah, are we extremely excited about this game, or just very, very excited?
Yeah, well, I can say just funny things that I played few training games, I believe, with Nepo in this line, and of course he mixed up his first today because he knows that knight e3 is bad because of bishop e3. He knows it, and okay.
It is actually
Then
bishop e3 is actually quite strong here.
yeah, well, at least it's written that knight e6 is unprecise.
Yeah. We seem to have some sound issues. I apologize for that. They should resolve themselves, I guess. But yeah.
Fortunately, Magnus doesn't need to play this. Maybe he was afraid of something.
Yeah, it's we were
because I was actually thinking about bishop e3, bishop g4, and if
Yeah,
and
we were-
long castle.
we were discussing something like that. Yeah, we were wondering why bishop e3 wasn't played, and we were looking at some positions. Maybe even f3, bishop f5. But yeah, it's dangerous for black. Much more dangerous than what we have on the board.
Yes, yes. No,
Yeah,
just
pretty
equal.
much.
And I don't believe that it's possible that Nepo.
Yeah, shouldn't be possible. Like, even if you allow everything, even let's say you make, I don't know, 2 waiting moves here, and I don't know, h6, bishop f4, and you just, I don't know, take, play king e7. Even this position is sort of completely fine, right? But
Yes. Very
but also it just feels that the view of the we're actually finally getting the view of the sea.
Finally, you can look at the
Thank
sea.
you. It is very, very generous of you. And me sitting here in my -20 snowed under swamp, you know?
I was swimming today, actually.
Yeah.
Just because of the game.
Dear viewers, we're experiencing technical difficulties. I can no longer see or hear Sergey Karjakin. We'll be removing him from the screen. And stop with the teasing. Come on. What are you doing?
What's wrong?
So yeah.
The last thing Magnus cannot he cannot force us to enjoy the life, to stop to enjoy the life.
Absolutely, yeah.
To
Well,
enjoy
some of
the
us
life.
are, yeah. Some of us, well, we also aren't doing that bad, yeah. I mean, I can't really complain. Yeah, but it's going to be a bit of a struggle finding interesting things to say about this position, eh?
Yes, it's so
Yeah,
much.
I think he wants to play knight h5 now, right? And just maybe do the same thing on his own side. Like knight h5, then knight g7.
Good one.
It's a possible way to play this, I think. It looks a bit strange, but I don't think it's bad.
Well, I remember that Jan actually won a game against Wang Hao in more or less similar line, and he's good on this endgames.
Yeah, but I think Hao was trying to achieve something. I think that game was... I think Hao lost it because he was choosing...
Well, at some point he was maybe even slightly better, but later on Magnus out.
Yeah, what I mean is he couldn't decide if he's playing for a win or if he's just playing to make moves. And that type of indecision sometimes backfires quite badly. So how did you, now that you're showing off with your view and everything, let's talk about this for a second. This position really is depressing me a little bit. So, how is how do you like Dubai? How is the feeling? I mean, I understand these are kind of sensitive topics. If we start asking you, what's the feeling in the camp? But like, what are your general impressions about being there?
Well, if we start to talk about the match, of course, it's quite depressing. Everyone is upset. It's not a big secret.
Yeah, would be strange if not.
But but we still believe that Jan at least can play a good chess and at least show something, because it's not his level what he's showing. And about Dubai, I really love Dubai. I actually had a training session before the match against Magnus in Dubai, so it's a really nice place.
Yeah. So, Miro. Yeah,
I'm back.
It's good, and
I'm back.
also.
Hello.
So there is nothing to discuss about this game, Peter and Sergey. So let's go back to our conspiracy thing. And I think we were proven that we live in a simulation, because there is a sea behind his back, which I've never seen the sea. So I don't really believe it exists. And then all of a sudden you have this picture.
Yeah, it's a.
So we do live.
Yeah, I mean, there obviously some glitches in the matrix are happening right now, because there we are with our drab gray backgrounds and our long faces, and there is Sergey in his t-shirt with the sea and the waves behind him, and yeah.
And can we
the
make
sea was
it
actually
look...
very good today.
Can we actually make it look exactly as Rookie 1 Berlin with some stretch? The pawn endgame, everybody agrees a drawing. Like bishop f4. I mean, it'll be a bit artificial, but apparently we can make it.
I don't know.
Like skip a move, maybe, and that. No, okay.
Yeah, like
it's a bit too much.
And now Rook e8, knight e8, and then we go knight d6, bishop f5.
Knight d6, bishop f5, and then
white plays b4, black plays b5, and white plays f4 and h4, and yeah, somewhere there they agree a draw, I think. Yeah, I mean, it does feel like we are kind of really avoiding talking about this, but also, can you blame us? Looking at this position, can you blame us not wanting to talk about it?
No, that's absolutely fine with me.
Conspiracy of cartographers, says Chess Misinformation. Magnus goes f3. Do we play h5 here? Do we care? I think the bigger question is, do we care or not? But
maybe we would play h5. I believe that Jan will do something else. Maybe even c5.
Yeah, c5. Hang on a second. How happy are we about this?
Take bishop e3. So if we, no.
Because here, if we don't make an immediate draw, maybe we have, made
kind of failed to equal.
Yeah, maybe suddenly we're not equal anymore. Yeah, and I don't see an immediate draw. You can play d4, but I don't think it solves.
D4, c takes bishop
maybe
b6
something like this. Yeah, and then rook d8.
But I can play d4 and I can take on e3, play d4 and take on a2.
Yeah, maybe this is the way to go. Yeah, take.
But then king f2 is not king f2 and rook.
Yeah, king f2, pawn down.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But I mean, the
not the best.
If you have to start calculating some kind of positional pawn sacrifices, it's probably unnecessary. Even though this looks like it might hold, honestly. Rook d8 is a threat, knight d5, knight d4 is a threat. It looks like it might just be fine for black, to be honest.
Knight f4, I mean,
now I think I will take on a2.
You take on a2
Yeah, now I think I will take on a2, and I think I'm fine, because a7 is not hanging anymore.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, probably even c5 is playable, but you obviously don't need to do it. But also, I think Jan...
Yeah, no need at all.
Yeah, Jan probably wants, he would prefer if something happened today. Just playing an extremely boring game is maybe not the ideal outcome. But... And of course, you have to say that.
Well, he should play one normal game in a row.
Yeah, that is also true. Yeah, the old kind of Botvinnik style, quote unquote Russian school wisdom that if you lose a couple in a row, take a pause, try to make a draw, regroup, come back stronger.
Yeah, and I think it was a Guffeld quote. I mean, and Guffeld was known for all the silly quotes in the world, right? So I'm playing stronger after a defeat. I'm playing even stronger after 2 defeats, much stronger after 3, but after 4, I can't play at all.
Yeah.
So at the moment, we are after 3 defeats. Not consecutive.
Not consecutive, but still, yeah. Yeah, it feels like c5 is playable, but obviously you can just play something conservative and still be completely fine. By the way, if c5, bishop e3, are we playing b6 or are we playing c4?
c4, b5.
So we're going in, yeah?
Yeah, because
or c4 and then bishop h3 maybe somewhere.
Yeah, that might be quite good as well.
I
do have rook e1, but yeah, now we can play b5 maybe, and we stopped bishop f4, or at least made it less attractive. Yeah, so maybe c4.
And it's still a draw.
Yeah, it's still a draw. All of this is still a draw with normal play, but there's only so many times you can say this sentence without starting to sound like a broken record. Yeah, maybe you just actually play c5 here to, kind of define the position a little bit.
Yeah, you've mentioned h5, Peter, but I don't quite understand how it helps you with the issues, because I go king f2 perhaps, and then I go bishop f4 and h4, and let's say, probably you have g5.
Yeah, I think I can play g5.
Let's imagine I'm just reaching the position I want, like you go c6 and
I mean, I'm just claiming I'm under normal circumstances, black will sort of never lose this position. I think it's pleasant for white, but you're just not going to make enough progress.
Yeah.
And
it's drawish, but actually it's not what Jan really needs.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, like I go a4, and the question is, do you allow a5, or do you maybe allow this? And then, questions might start popping up. Yeah.
Would be nice to bring a knight to d6 for black. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, maybe before.
Yeah, it's
But he drew.
Yeah, he played rook e8 very quickly, and now it's much more difficult to get it there. We'll see.
Actually, rook e8 could be slightly inaccurate move.
What would you play?
Bishop g4 maybe.
Bishop f4, I guess.
Takes, and now rook e8.
Yeah, maybe actually even just go c6 and just start doing that thing.
Yes, c6 is also, and then to bring the knight.
Yeah, king f8, knight e8, knight d6. Yeah, if we are forced to discuss exactly how to play this position, we might as well discuss it. Yeah.
But also rook e8 and king g2, g5 maybe also possible.
Yeah, this also looks very logical, and I think we actually probably just take on h3 here, or at least we can if we want to, because this knight against this bishop I think is completely fine for black in almost any kind of a setup. Yeah, we'll wait until Jan decides on something, because it feels like there's not a lot to say until maybe he decides to change the structure, and then there could be some things that could...
And then lose horribly.
No,
I mean, because that's what happens when you change the structure in a boring position like that.
He played knight h5 actually.
We were talking about this, and I think it was maybe slightly cleaner to play it. If you wanted to play knight h5, I liked it better in this position. because the way he's done it, I mean, he's really inviting this, right? And
yeah, how happy are we about g4 and stuff?
we're probably not that unhappy though. Like we take, we go c6, bishop d7, knight e6, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be that bad.
I think Rubinstein would be jumping for joy here with white. You know, king f2, h4, all the.
White is not forced to play g4. I mean,
Yeah, of course not. Yeah, you can go king f2. Yeah. But now maybe you play knight g7.
Yeah, bishop f4.
I was kind of hoping maybe I can play bishop f5, but
yeah, but some bishop b5.
yeah, it's unnecessary to even calculate this. Yeah, we just don't need this. What are they doing to us? We're actually sitting here seriously discussing how to play this position. This was supposed to be a drinking stream.
Get us some other position on the screen, Peter.
Yeah.
To have drinking stream on this position, you should drink water. Or tea. I mean, it's so boring.
Yeah. Water.
Are you on
I'm
a
drinking
ship,
water.
Sergey? People
Sorry?
curious to know.
Are you on a boat? No, I think he's in a hotel, but
No. We actually were on the boat in the rest day. It was really great.
yeah.
It was so nice.
Time for somebody to break out into "I'm on a boat." There's a famous clip of "I'm on a boat," which I think Gusti introduced me to the wonderful world of "I'm on a boat."
Yeah, there is also the Yep bot thing.
Or that, yeah. Or that.
Yep bot chat.
Yeah, but both is gone, so it's those are dated memes. Anyway, yeah, like I wonder, like at what point Magnus actually becomes interested today?
Bot is a house.
Bot is a house in many cases, yes.
Sneed into Coiler into bot.
Let's not. Yeah, we're
the
confusing
house.
our guests horribly, I think, by this point. Which is obviously what we're trying to do. So let's continue. But like seriously, at what point do you think Magnus actually starts thinking this is a game he wants to play? Because so far,
Well, actually, he might start thinking about it if Jan plays something inaccurate, something strange.
because really it feels like he is, the plan is to make 40 moves, and probably you will not have anything by the end of move 40. So then you can just kind of.
Well, I think that the plan was to play as safe as possible, and that's why he actually didn't play bishop e3, because it wasn't the plan. It was the plan was to go to the endgame, and to play the endgame, probably most likely a draw, but considering that Jan is on a bad shape, maybe Jan would make some mistakes, and then Magnus will play it. So.
Yep. Why would Magnus try anything he doesn't need to? I think he has become a very pragmatic chess player, but he's also, as we all know, a very strong chess player who has a very good sense for, when the position suddenly becomes winnable, which is what we have also seen in Game 8, where I'm pretty sure the plan for Game 8 was very similar to what we're seeing today, but the moment Jan started making maybe not the best decisions, you could see how Magnus just suddenly became very, very interested in what's going on the board.
Well, when you play against Magnus, you should not allow him such things.
Yeah, ideally you would want to keep him as bored and as disinterested as possible, but
somehow in Berlin it's much easier to make drawing rook e1 than here.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true, and it's a kind of a weird situation where it seems like they both have a similar idea. Like you could maybe make an argument that they have the same expectation of what they will be. And yet the game is still continuing, and the game could actually become a game, despite, both of them seemingly just wanting a draw and like half a rest day. It could still very easily become a game if Jan at some point maybe commits an inaccuracy or two.
Yeah. He played king f2.
He played king f2, yeah. We can. I think we probably want to include c6 somewhere, so maybe we do it now. Yeah.
He can also play bishop h3 actually.
Yeah, he could.
I don't know what.
He could. Actually, yeah, it looks kind of logical, but I guess we just go bishop d2 and we continue waiting, yeah? But yeah, he plays c6 very quickly. Yeah.
Black will play c6.
I think he just has some kind of an idea in mind of which position he wants to get, and he's not willing to, spend too much time thinking about things. Yeah.
A good one. C6.
Yeah, it's a solid move, yeah, and I appreciate all the armor up memes, but I think Zixo claiming that this entire match is like watching paint dry for 14 days is, we've had 3 decisive games. I think you're stretching it a little bit when you make a claim like this, Zixo. It hasn't been. Today isn't very exciting. I'm not going to pretend that this position is fun to talk about, but in general, I don't think this match was boring. But even for a less idiotic person than myself, I think there has been enough excitement.
Yeah, the match wasn't boring. That's true.
Yeah,
they were fighting.
Yeah, today, I'm struggling to find things to say about this position.
Well, it seems for me that g4.
Yeah, you have to do this, right, at some point. Probably now, or you could. I don't know. If he really doesn't want to play today, he can do something like this, I guess, and then it really, really is completely. How will they repeat moves, asks Shu Event Horizon. I don't think they need to. I think if you trade enough here, you don't even need to find repetitions. You just kind of play normally. Yeah. What did I miss?
Nizah summoning you up. Exciting, the excitement level. Yeah, World Championship match over this, the fragmentation of a paint.
Yeah, it's a nice reference right there. Yeah, G4 Bishop F4 finally happened. We are taking, right, Sergey? We're not playing Bishop F8 here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are taking and playing G5 actually here, no? That's why I actually thought that it's not
Knight
so
E2.
Good.
And maybe even F5, yeah?
F5.
Yeah, F5, exactly.
H3. Are we playing F4?
Guys, genuine question. What happens if I take on E6? If I don't understand, the bad bishop, good knight definition, and go bishop F5 immediately. No, maybe just go bishop F5 immediately. Yeah, you take bishop F5, knight F4, rook E1. Do I lose this?
Probably not.
So you want to bring a bishop to C8?
I mean, if we trade, the answer is yes.
Even that position, it's probably even this is fine, right?
King D2. No, I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, or that. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a draw anyway, yeah, because this is solid.
Well, if black brings the king to d6, then
Yeah,
d6,
it becomes a bit
c5,
interesting, yeah, because you can definitely imagine white losing, I don't know, 2 games out of 10 here, maybe something like this.
Yes.
At least they're, it would have been even more painful if they were taking immense amount of time to make these moves, but they are playing quite quickly. I was promised a Benoni today, says Bywork12. We were all kind of promised a Benoni today. Well, not promised exactly, but... yeah. So yeah, G5 is...
Can he play king f8?
Yeah, or that, yeah, you can
king
definitely
f6?
do that, and then Magnus will play, like, I don't know, we'll get some position like this, and, yeah.
h5.
Yeah. And then, yeah, if I actually get this, then maybe I'm happy, but probably don't. But he played G5, he understands. He understands.
G5 is good.
Yeah, Sergey is still in Dubai, yeah. As you can probably see by the waterfront skyline and the beautiful sea behind him. Why does Peter not show the first 5 moves of the Benoni to make Bywork happy? Yeah, if it's that easy to oblige our audience, let's just do this. Look at this. D4, knight f6, c4, and now you go e6. You wait for white to make a very big mistake of the move g2, g3. And then you go c5, and you go d6, and then g6, or possibly b5, but I don't know the move orders. And, yeah?
Hang on. I'm ready to argue that you capturing on d5 and going d6, playing it imprecise. Because a4 and a famous Pankratov game. I mean, when you take on d5 and go d6, there is a4, g6, rook a3, and all the nonsense. Bishop g7, check, and then go back. So technically, it's more precise to go d6 because I don't think there is anything if white takes on e6.
Yeah, fair point. I actually wasn't aware of that. That's a very good point. And then we do the things later.
It's not like it gives white any advantage, but basically d6 immediately kind of takes an option from white, doesn't really provide him with any other options.
And now that we have, we've had our vacation from our drab, wretched lives, let's go back to discussing this absolute gem of a position.
Let's try to picture this scenario under which everything goes wrong for white. Like you go to g2, you face f5 with h3 perhaps. But
maybe
still,
h5 here.
But still, no, yeah, I was thinking like f4 somewhere, like getting more space, but even then.
Yeah, but then even then, h4, rook h1.
Yeah, h4, h6, rook h1, and this knight gets over to c2, and everything is covered anyway. Yeah.
White is not really risking here.
Yeah, it's difficult to imagine how you spoil your position so much that you run risks. Maybe actually to run some risks you have to take on e6. And then you can imagine how white can maybe, under some circumstances, could be slightly worse. Hey Minder, I don't think anyone is winning today. That would be my measured opinion on this. Are you following the Ashes? Predictions. Steve Giddens, who is probably still here, tweeted a very nice tweet by Exploding Heads at me earlier today, which basically goes, when Ronnie O'Sullivan scores 147, everybody says he's a genius. And when England scores 147, everybody says it's yet another pathetic first day of the Ashes. Grow up. Which I think sums up my feelings on the first day very, very well.
Fair point by Jake. Was it the real attempt to spoil the position for white? Yeah, I mean, it wasn't real. Yeah, so probably you go knight h5 by the end of the day. I mean, if you really want to f up your position.
Yeah, I think this is probably the way to actually start being in trouble.
Yeah, to work towards being worse.
Is to do this, yeah, but that's not happening.
Can he play knight 92? You play what after 92?
Sorry, that's a different position.
F5?
Let me just. Where's I've lost my spot. Hang on, let me just reload everything.
It was king of two first.
92 f5.
Yeah. Yes. G.
Yeah, I think we can take. Yeah, I was trying to calculate this. I think we can take and go rook g1 in the end. Yeah.
Takes g1, h6, f4, knight d6, probably. Takes on g5.
Still some kind of a draw, right? Or knight g3,
Yeah,
rook f8. I was going to play knight g3, but then maybe rook f8 is good.
No, just
Take
take
the bloody pawn,
Yes.
Peter. King e1.
Ah, yeah, okay.
king e1, takes h4.
h4.
Yeah, they
and
should do this. Yeah,
something
they should do
like
this.
And draw a great.
Let's get this done, guys. We believe in you. Is this theory? Yeah,
Is
exactly.
this theory? Yes, exactly.
Is
Known to
this
some,
theory?
not everyone, but some people. Still theory.
Still a theory thingamajig. Something. 92 played. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of the move f5 in this position because I feel like it ends being a forced draw. So I'm very much in favor of Jan doing it immediately.
What else can you do?
Yeah, actually, I think if you do not if you play f6, h4, h6, you might be a bit worse, right? After like rook h1, king f7, knight g3, and then eventually this gets opened up, the rook gets to h6, and probably still a draw, but obviously only white is having fun.
Yeah, I mean, why would you? Exactly.
Fun. Fun.
What's
Exactly,
fun anyway?
yeah.
I mean, let's come back to like a real topics. What's fun?
Fun is. It's like
Yeah,
you
provide me with a proper
Yeah, it's
definition of fun.
I assume you also grew up with the Love is bubblegum, right? So we
Yep,
can play this
absolutely.
game, but only with definitions of fun. Yeah.
Fun.
Fun is not this. Let's go with
Okay.
not this.
No, fun is
Yeah,
dot.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
this. Yeah. F5 played. I am hugely enjoying this decision by Jan. Correct decision. Let's get
He's on
let's
the right
get a
way.
90-minute working day today. I am very much in favor of a 90-minute working day today. Yeah, if people have fun playing Control Warrior Mirrors, there are people who will enjoy this game, says Bywork12. One of those people is actually on the stream right now, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. You shouldn't be messing around with these things because I mean I still have the sword
Yeah.
in this chat. Yeah, that was kind of when DH. I mean that DH now when you say DH, they actually think it's a it's a freaking new class, right? But that.
Oh yeah. I remember you actually.
Was the thing. I mean, it was very interesting. It wasn't. I mean, it was quite a weak deck. I mean, against all the tempo stuff, but it was quite interesting.
Root, Kane, or Quali, don't be biased. I think the answer, if you he retired, yeah, right. So you can't. Because I think the answer is AB de Villiers, right? But he doesn't play anymore. Like if you phrase it like this, obviously the contrarian in me immediately wants to answer AB de Villiers, but that's no longer an. I will go with Labuschagne. Let's take Labuschagne over those three. That's a hot take for today. Also, of course it's root. Why would you even ask? Anyway, sorry guys. Yeah, I see a cricket question, I answer a cricket question. Them's the rules. Come on, Magnus. Why? Like, if Magnus doesn't go GF here and we don't get that endgame that we discussed, I'm gonna be so upset. Like, yeah, like, come on. I mean, there is social contract must be observed. We have found the forced draw, so now you have to show us the forced draw on the board. Like, it's unfair if you don't.
But objectively, he's not better at all. So
Yeah, I guess so.
he should take a draw.
And he actually somehow... Hang on. I need to scroll up. Oh yeah, it's actually Smith who was omitted from the question. I was wondering. I know it's the big four, but not on top form today, so cricket less than anything. Okay. Okay.
It's a bit of a stretch because we have
dude.
I mean, this game go. So,
Dude.
Too harsh.
I'm going to start having fun with chat now. I'm going to.
But Peter, how about snooker over cricket?
I mean, you are allowed. Not very many other people would be allowed.
I mean, my point is, I have no skin in this game because I'm not following cricket and perhaps cannot appreciate the beauty of the game. But if you think of, the evolution of what a human being, can do with the balls.
Yeah.
So then go from, a lot of men fighting for one ball, and here you have the football, the rugby football, and so on. Yeah. Then we are progressing towards the basketball, and then tennis, where only two people involved, and then
you get to the games.
The opposite side of a spectrum. It's funny enough, and in football you have 22 people fighting for one ball, and then in snooker it's right the opposite.
Yeah, it's
because you have a ball, the 15 reds, 6 colors, and only one man at the table when stuff happens.
Yeah, it's exactly. So it's on the absolute opposite end of the spectrum.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You don't play much billiards these days, Sergey, do you? You're a basketball player these days.
No, I didn't play basketball for a long time. I mean, I don't have company. I like it very much, but I would like to play some billiard, but also I need someone to play with.
Yeah,
and also the time.
All of those things, are kind of an issue, yeah. And Jan used to play quite a bit, but I think he probably also gave up together with, not gave up entirely, but he was at some point I think quite interested in becoming better at Russian billiards in particular. I think you played with him, Miro, as well, right?
Jan was very, very good.
Yeah, we used to be kind of sparring partners for quite a bit.
But then he made this kind of a really, really strange, inexplicable choice of trying to become better at chess, and H3. Yeah, no, come on.
H3.
What is this? What is this? It is a very
it's a solid move.
Still, it's a betrayal, is what it is. We just go King F7, I guess. King F7, King F6, H5, if we're allowed, I guess, right?
King F7, and then let me...
I would say that any move, any square.
Yeah. King F7, all of a sudden I play F4 for white.
Yeah, I was trying to...
I mean...
And then you go H6.
I play H6, yeah. I don't calculate.
And then we go King F3 and we claim that we've actually achieved something, maybe.
Okay, King F6, I also go.
Yeah, who knows, yeah.
Well, black is not risking here, I believe.
Black just generally is not risking very much in these types of positions.
Is billiards popular in Russia, Peter? I mean, tell us the answer to a serious question. It used to be. I would put it used to be before.
Yeah,
COVID.
I think it's kind of a bit of a sort of it's much harder, obviously, to keep a large club open with all the restrictions and everything. And I was driven past the club where I played most of my billiards when I was very active, which is like 20 years ago. And it's a very, very large, like barracks type building, which used to host. Eventually, they spread over 2 floors, so it was like 40 tables above on the second floor, and like maybe 20 pool tables on the ground floor. It was a very large club, and it still says billiards club up top when you drive past it, and like every single window is dark on a Saturday afternoon. It feels like the clubs are dying because people really, 2 years of COVID restrictions have not been very helpful, unsurprisingly, to the well-being of the industry.
Yeah, fair point. Is billiards popular anywhere?
Yeah.
I mean, what's
who am I-
popularity once again?
Who am
Instagram's
I
popular.
Who am I
TikTok
banning
is
again?
popular.
I'm banning somebody, but let me scroll up. Okay. But yeah, it's a reasonably popular pastime, I think, or at least it was.
Yeah, snooker is crazy popular in England. Try to explain
Yeah.
that to football fans, I'm guessing. I mean, it is kind of compared to other countries, right?
Mhm.
But not to other
Yeah.
sports.
It's very easily.
8 ball or 9 ball, Peter? 9 ball.
Yeah, I
every
think I
bloody
prefer
day.
9-ball. But I still remember that glorious day when we played the triathlon in St. Louis. Yeah.
We played the mix, right? I mean, it
And
was
straight
8,
and we
9,
played straight,
and
race
straight.
to 50. Yeah.
So Peter remembers, and I think
I tweeted about it. Yeah, I was so
on
happy.
Twitter.
I actually beat you once in that stupid game that I actually tweeted about it. It doesn't happen every day or every month or every year even that I beat you in anything billiards related.
Who's better?
Miro
at
is just
pool?
generally stronger than
that's
Miro
a
is
tough
a better
question.
player and has always been a better player than me in pretty much any variety of billiards. I can compete.
Have we ever tried snooker? We did in Iceland, right?
Yeah, it was horrible.
But I'm afraid I was too drunk by the time we reached the club, so I do not remember the score.
Yeah.
We played, yeah. That's
Yeah.
for
Biggest
real,
question:
yeah.
why is Sergey not drinking?
Emirates,
he's a-
dude.
I stopped drinking. It's already 2 days I'm not drinking.
Already 2 days I'm not drinking, he says. This should give you an idea
Yes.
maybe about some things.
Yeah, look, Jake actually
Mhm.
has it about our snooker session, Peter. Okay, I was drunk out of my skull, but if it would have been a good score for you, you would remember.
Yeah.
So my guess is
I
I
don't even,
won.
I honestly don't even remember we played, but I do know that
We
I do
did.
know that I'm like the
We
worst
did.
snooker player in the history of snooker. So my expectation is kind of doesn't matter how drunk you were, you probably beat me. Yeah, it's so.
Which makes me the second worst.
Possibly, yeah. Who knows? Oh.
What's my highest break? I think it was above 50. Couple of occasions, but that's not a regular
No,
thing,
yeah,
of course.
there is just no comparison. Yeah, I can't play that game. They're actually like the club I used to frequent did not have a snooker table for the longest time, and I just never got any kind of meaningful practice in, and my technique just falls apart on a snooker table. So yeah, it's a horror show. I mean, it was a horror show when I was semi-active. I just wouldn't even approach the table right now after like a 20-year break. I pretty much gave up on all kinds of billiards once the kids were born, more or less completely. Rook h1. So yeah, Magnus is
All right. Rook h1,
We go
yeah,
h5.
not bad.
right. Unless f4 is something. H5. I guess he wants to play either h4 or f4 here. I'm just trying to figure out which is better.
Sorry.
So h4.
I don't know.
How does that go? h4. Let's say black captures. I mean, for a second, I might be interested in it. Yeah, h takes or f takes.
Yeah, GF and maybe even
I'm
knight
not
f4 here, and no, this you
Knight
might
F4,
legitimately
bishop
start
F5.
thinking that this is a game with white.
Yeah, because bishop f5,
Yeah.
you take h5 and
Yeah,
take
absolutely.
your pawn
Like,
up.
I'm genuinely interested now because rook h7 is a threat, and obviously king takes f3 is a
King f3 is a threat.
How did you
h5
get the position,
h4 we're
sorry?
looking at, and should still be a draw,
H5,
but
H4.
obviously suddenly there is still a at least there's a question.
I take on g4 with f takes g4.
Yeah, this is what
yes?
we're looking at.
Yes, and now I make some brilliant tactic, bishop f5.
I will not blunder a piece with you. I'm just warning you in advance. The piece will not be blundered. And then I will.
But
yeah,
I want to make a
show
draw.
to the audience which piece I mean. Yeah, bishop f5 is much stronger than g takes f3, of course.
Regrettably, the knight is
Mhm.
not trapped at the end. I mean, imagine the entire line, and then you take f3 takes g4,
And the king is on
is on g7. White king is I don't know on f3, whatever. Yeah.
But unfortunately, yeah, this is.
Yeah,
Yeah, so after
that's
bishop
not
f5,
how
I
chess
guess
works.
we go takes, we go fg. Now this tactic actually does lose, because you obviously don't want to be doing this to yourself. So after fg you go hg, and I go maybe knight g3. But yeah, but like we're not playing for a win with white here, I guess, right?
Okay.
I don't know, takes, rook
Yeah,
h7.
takes rook h7.
These positions tend to be a draw, right? They like
Should be
takes, and I don't know, rook f8 check, king g2, rook e8, something like this, yeah. And the threat of allowing rook e2 check is a bit too much, so white normally just takes a perpetual somewhere. Either this perpetual or rook g7, rook f7 or something, I don't know. h5, of course, is completely unforced. You can play, I don't know, h6 and claim that there are no threats.
Yeah, you can just play
h6 or maybe king f6 or like some kind of a waiting move. I don't know which one we like the most.
King f6,
Oh,
it's h4
yeah.
again.
King f6.
But I was going to claim that I can actually maybe do something like this and not be...
f4,
F4 check,
f4
yeah.
check maybe, and then check and take on the. I mean, that's something you don't want to be doing.
Yeah, maybe
maybe
even some
check
move like
first
this,
and
yeah.
then take on h7.
Yeah, you definitely don't want this position with black, yeah. Yeah, I missed. I mean, I guess if I play king f6 now, I play this move. But even this position, yeah, where there's absolutely no need to allow it. I suspect this is a draw.
To calculate.
Actually, it's maybe same check on h6 was a bit annoying.
Check because here you have rook h7, yeah.
Because king g5, rook h7 is a tempo.
And then the same things start happening, yeah.
And then f4, I mean, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And I mean, certainly not the thing you
and
want
Jan,
to
I
check.
think, very sensibly just says no to all of that and plays h6.
h6, yeah.
Very solid.
Yeah. The reason I wanted king f6 was I wanted to kind of preserve the dream of playing h5 in one tempo, but obviously you have to calculate.
So what happens now? I go knight g3?
Yeah, but you're not...
Well, white has two options. Maybe first is to play knight g3 and also somehow to play bishop c2, knight c1, knight d3. But you need a lot of time to do this. Black will do something.
Yeah, you can't expect that black passes for like 3 moves. Yeah, but that's a good point. I kind of completely forgot this square even existed for the knight. You know, immediately obvious that I haven't really played these structures at all, and you've been, you know, at least looking at them with both colors, I guess, from the anti-Berlins and things, yeah.
Anti-Berlin, you beat me with rook e1, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I tried very, very hard not to get anything like this. Like, I played something which was which was
Sorry, no,
it was D3.
It wasn't
It was
Rook
D3.
actually,
Yeah,
it was D3, but then it was very similar structure.
But you know, for a change, I had a concrete idea for one game, which is almost never the case these days. That I have an idea. That was a fun game.
Maybe it's time to do a preview of the press conference. Jack says on Twitch. Let's try it. I mean, let's do a bit of rehearsal. So I'll be the damn journalist, and you two gentlemen will be the participants. I don't know. You pick the sides, and I'm asking Jan, why did you choose such a dumb and silly opening today? Don't you understand? You have to play for a win. You are free to answer.
Yeah,
any
like
of it.
I've seen the picture of how their table looks like when they do the press conference. Like Maurice seated in the middle, and the two of them divided by Maurice, and then there's this really solid table which divides them from the journalists. And this is not an original point. I've seen somebody make it on Twitter, but it's a good thing there's this table there. You know, that like.
So you mean throwing things at people?
Yeah, like the left
challenging.
hook probably doesn't actually reach the person asking this question because there's a table in between you and them. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think what I've been missing all these years when I do press conferences is this, you know, conviction to just look the journalist in the eye and say, this is a stupid question, do better. So what I will try today with this thought experiment is you will ask a question like this, and I will just reply, do better. Every single time with like this steely look in my eyes. Maybe I need some training. I'm retired though, like semi-retired, so I don't know if that's important for me anymore. But it looks like it's a very important skill of just like instructing people on how they should do their jobs.
If you were at the press conference, Peter, and also it's addressed to me as well, what would you ask the players? Honestly, I wouldn't ask anything. I mean, what's the time? That's what I would ask. Is it a time to go home and have a quiet drink?
Yeah. No, and this is actually the other side of the story, I guess, when you talk about press conferences. The questions look stupid, but the journalists have to write the story, and they want a quote because they can't really, make up stuff that they probably expect you to say something. They can guess what you will say, but they can't really make it up because, ethics and stuff. So they need to hear you say those words, which is why you still get questions, like the ones that we saw in the press conference. And I was thinking, like, what would I have asked Jan, let's say, after game 8 or game 9? And yeah, I would just very much like not to have that option at all, because there's just nothing you can ask. I don't think there is any question that will sound normal if you want to talk about the game. Like, it all will sound kind of cruel and unnecessary.
Sagar is asking good questions about the game. Yeah, but because he's a kind of a chess.
Yeah, you can ask specific
right.
questions about positions. And maybe, like, if I chose to participate in this circus at all, those would be the questions I would ask. Like, if you can, please tell me what you were thinking in a specific position. And also, like, I would try to frame it in a way that would kind of lessen the obvious impact of me looking at the position with the machine against somebody who was thinking about it live. And, but yeah, all kinds of, how do you feel questions. Those are always going to be completely horrible. There's no way to make them not horrible, I think.
How will you spend your free day?
What will you do on the free day?
Peter, by the way, chat just confirmed you're an optimist.
Why?
You're an optimist. Because you've said they cannot make things up.
Yeah, but like I understand it's a kind of a rosy view on life, but I think it explains at least a little bit the reason for all those questions is that they do need to hear them say the words so that they can put them in the report. And this results in this kind of really unhealthy unhealthy meta. What's the weirdest question you ever got asked in a press conference, Sergey?
Good question. I don't know. Well, I remember that after the simple question, when I lost to Magnus in game 10, so I was going to press conference, but we had an agreement that first we speak with Norwegian press. So I came to Norwegian press, and there was a girl, and she asked me, "Are you upset?" And I got completely mad after this question, and I was close to kill her.
Yeah, but I can relate, and for those of you who maybe don't know Sergey all that well, he generally doesn't kill people. He is I just want to assure you, yeah, like normally Sergey is not in the business of killing people, and you do. Minister of attack, yeah. Like it's you kind of have to work quite hard to make Sergey even a little bit upset. So as somebody who has known you for many years, yeah, it's not an easy thing to achieve. But yeah, I think in general, like apart from those types of questions, it's just the absolute banality and like the repetition of the questions time and time again that drives you crazy. Like exactly, like what will you do on the rest day, and like you have lost this game, how do you feel? Like I mean, even if it's not the World Championship game, which was hugely important, even if it's just like some kind of a relatively unimportant game, if such a thing exists, you still probably don't want to answer a question, about how you feel when you've lost a game of chess.
I mean, just answer it, dude. Yeah. I mean, what's the problem? You're a professional. Just say, I'm fucking happy.
Yeah.
I've lost the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's and this is what you do. You just stand there and you say, yeah, I mean, maybe not ideal. I would have preferred not to have lost it and to, be...
Yeah. What a surprise.
Actually, Evgenij, it's more or less what I asked.
Yeah. And... yeah, I remember I still have that clip somewhere. I would have actually played it on stream, but I don't know if I can find it quickly enough. That clip from the Moscow 2017, I think, Grand Prix, where I think it was Eteri. Yeah, the Nikita Tomaszewski clip.
You mean? The one with, what was it?
Yeah, I think if you...
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was done by a team, by a crew.
I
was the commentator.
Which messenger has it? Because, like, honestly, if I can locate it quickly enough, I will play it on stream. It's fantastic. I think it's on Telegram,
but yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, if you can find it, I mean, if you can find it, ship it to me on Discord or somewhere. Yeah, because this is just so gorgeous. It's one of the.
That's pure gold. I mean, solid gold.
In the meantime, Magnus played a 4. I assume there is a forced draw somewhere. I think I even found it. I think this is a forced draw. We take on g4 twice. They take on h6. And now, of course, bishop takes e2 loses to bishop g6 check and bishop takes e8. So I think we play bishop f5 here. They take, they give it... rook h5. No, rook h5, rook e2. As usual. So they give a check from h7. We go knight g7. Fg, king g6. And this has to be a draw, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So I think that's
most likely.
Yeah, I think it's a very logical sequence, and I couldn't really find anything better for anyone. If you take on g5, you're just a pawn down, as far as I can tell. So you do this. We take. Obviously, here, if you don't take on h6, it's unclear why you've done this to yourself. So you take on h6. After bishop f5, you really have no other moves because the bishop is hanging. So you take, as I mentioned, rook h5 loses a piece to rook e2. And then knight g3. So you give a check, knight g7. There is a move knight g3 here, but after king g6, you probably end up regretting that you made it. Because knight h5 is stopped, and then this guy is lost. So you play fg, king g6, and you can sort of play this, but I mean, the simplest, I guess, is just to play rook d6, knight f5, and rook e7. Yeah, it looks like Jan also calculated all of this, so we're probably going to just get this entire sequence more or less blitzed out. And then the game will end in a draw. Yeah, all of this up to Bishop.
The game will end in a draw?
Hottest take
Seriously?
ever. Yeah, let me just...
By the way, check
I
your
just need
Telegram,
to,
dude.
hang on, I need to get it to the other...
To kind of sum up
get it
the
to the other
discussion
machine, yeah.
on
And it
brilliant
wasn't
press
actually
conferences.
a Terry, it was Anastasia. So I do this, then I do this. Hang on a second, slight admin stuff going on behind. No,
Just
yeah, I
play
mean,
it
I
full
just need to
screen.
get it from one machine to the other, because like I don't have Telegram on the machine I'm streaming from.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
One sec. One sec. Yeah, all of this is on the board already, as we've predicted, up to FG5. And in the meantime, we are... Download. Media source.
I believe that the best part of the stream, if not the entire match coverage, is about to happen.
Possibly,
in a few seconds.
So,
why weren't you?
Seems like you don't have chances in the next stage, let's say, to qualify for this for the candidate matches.
It's the motherfucking DRE. Dr. Dre, motherfucker.
okay, I have broken the stream. Wonderful.
Maybe there was a sound. Maybe I don't have sound on Skype. Yeah.
Let me try this again.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try this again then.
Certainly.
Seems like you don't have chances in the next stage, let's say, to qualify for this for the candidate matches.
It's the motherfucking DRE. Dr. Dre, motherfucker.
I know what it is. I mean, so I don't actually need the sound.
It's a good clip. It's a good clip, and the facial expressions there, they do tell a very good story. I still have no idea what that was about. They Anastasia Karlovich asked Tomaszewski and Adams what they felt about. I think they made a draw, and with that draw, they both lost any mathematical chance of qualifying for whatever it was.
I think it's not like that, Peter. I think it's like it was the second leg only. But it's just that, the performance wasn't that great.
Yeah. In the meantime, Magnus plays Rook H3. Yeah, there's really not very much to say here. I guess we get some sort of continuation like this, and maybe they even do this just to kind of really drive home the point of how exciting all of this is. And now we show the distant the distant opposition, like the very important concept of preserving the opposition. Yep. All right. At least, as I said, like the one thing that could have made this game kind of worse for everyone is if they did all these things much, much slower, but they did keep a very nice, healthy clip of things and kept a very nice clip. I can't speak English anymore. So Magnus needs 1 point from the last 4 games, right? There's 4 games left, and Magnus needs 2 draws on or 1 win somewhere. Yeah, one point out of the last 4. He's black in the next one, so I mean, obviously, I understand these questions, in particular for you, Sergey, with you being on the scene, are a bit weird. But like, how crazy would you be prepared to go? Like, is it 1b3 time, or do we still play something?
I don't know, honestly. It very much depends on Jan. I mean, he can say that, okay, guys, I'll play something and you can relax, or he can say that, okay, this is what I will play and prepare, and we will try.
Yeah, and of course, I'm not asking you for any kind of insider information or anything. Like, hopefully, I'm not that stupid. I'm just like for you specifically. With 4 games to go, you probably still don't go completely insane.
Peter, the board the board is off.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, like fix
your shit, Mr. Streamer is absolutely correct. Yeah. Apologies for that. I got it scrolled for some.
Honestly speaking, it's already time.
Yeah, I think it's time to go mental a little bit. But
if you make a draw with white, then you will have 2 games with black where you have to win. It's almost impossible. So you really need to win next game. If not, then okay.
So you mean King's Gambit it is?
Maybe.
Game.
Actually, I played few Blitz games in King's Gambit, and Jan made a really great opening course on this opening. You can buy it.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's support
that. Yeah, that sounds like a proper investment, but I'm probably
let's support the challenger in his endeavors by buying his course on Chessable.
Yeah, he actually beat.
He won a very exciting game against Alireza, obviously, who probably did not believe before the game that this could happen. So he probably didn't prepare very seriously against the King's Gambit there. But probably, there are still some other... And I mean, we all kind of enjoy talking about it, but the fact that he recorded the course makes it a much worse, choice because, it's much less of a surprise. Like, it's a let's put it like this, dubious opening, even if your opponent didn't spend a single second in the last, 20 years looking at it. But if they know that you've recorded the course, they will assign, they will assign a percent of the, 1 percentage point of their preparation time to actually looking at the King's Gambit, deciding what you will play. And then it doesn't really work all that well, because obviously white cannot really aim for.
Yeah, the problem is that after f4, black has so many ways to play chess.
And Doji says they will assign Laurent. Yeah, you get the feeling that Laurent probably ends up the odd one out who actually has to look at the King's Gambit and come up with a solution somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the very non-hypothetical answer to your question, Stavros, is that obviously from -2, a comeback like this did happen kind of famously, involving some of the people you are currently watching. So, yeah, nothing is impossible. It's just extremely difficult, and obviously it's not going to happen very often. And yeah, -3 is worse than -2. And -4 would be worse than -3, and -5 would mean that the match is over. I think that's how math won.
Seriously? I thought they would still play.
Yeah. You will notice, dear viewers, that we're not really discussing the position on the board anymore, but I mean, Magnus, in very true Magnus fashion, is still continuing to play even this position. So instead of like here, instead of playing rook e3 check as a kind of a normal human being would have done here, he went knight f4, knight g6, which is like completely unfair. Like, why are you still playing chess here? Stop. Like, what are you doing? And also, Jan, for some reason, decided to not play knight e6. I thought knight e6, like rook f7, rook g8, and then...
But rook f6? Rook f6? Or maybe after rook g8, rook f6, and then king goes. And
so we actually get stuck here, and we cannot trade rooks. Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to play rook f8 next move, if the knight goes somewhere. But we're not getting there. Okay. Yeah, that would be a real, like, you know, kick in the nuts if Magnus, after getting this position, actually like plays it for another 2 hours for some reason. But I
already exchanged the rooks.
okay, yeah, the rooks are off. Excellent, excellent. Much appreciated, boys. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. A very exciting game. We enjoyed every second of it.
Yeah,
I
GG, well played.
I didn't even get to drink very much. Like it's with my speed of drinking, I'm still on my first pour.
Yeah, not gonna make it.
Yeah, just never gonna make it. Yeah, it's a very typical case of NGMI and
So
draw
they
greed
agreed to a draw.
and draw greed. Yeah. Not much to say about today. Magnus clearly doesn't feel like he needs to be. I was kind of like, honestly, we had this discussion early in a group chat, and I was wondering if he just, considering how wounded Jan must be after losing game 8 and then game 9, I thought maybe Magnus might be interested in like having a game of chess today, in order to potentially just win one more and just completely nail it down. Not that it is, you know, very close to being nailed down anyway. But obviously, you know, from a strategic point of view, having a 2-hour workday and coming one game closer to concluding the match is not a mistake. And from Jan's viewpoint, after games 8 and 9, you also feel like he probably needed this. He needed to kind of return to some sense of normalcy before hopefully, you know, recovering somewhat during the rest day and then playing the King's Gambit in game 11, which is obviously what we expect.
Okay.
Any final words,
Not
Sergey?
much to add to this, Peter. I think Magnus's decision is understandable, kind of not chasing the FOMO because he was not expecting to win yesterday's game.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, okay. I mean, scored 1.5 out of 2. He's on +3. I mean, not that many games left.
Yeah. I would actually say that it's not so bad for Jan because he had an easy game and tomorrow is the rest day and he can prepare for the last fight.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
So
I think
it's a small, very little, but a chance to Jan to show something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for us and for viewers in general, obviously today wasn't all that exciting. But from the strategic point of view within the match, and you have to understand that, you know, entertaining us is probably not their first priority. People tend to kind of forget that we are not the center of their universe. They're trying to achieve something. So yeah, it makes perfect sense for both of them. And I mean, game 11 will not look like this. We absolutely know that game 11 will not look like this because Jan, you know, he will do whatever is in his power to make, you know, create a complicated game, even if he has to play something which is maybe not, you know, strictly speaking, precise and correct and so on. So we've had a bit of a break today, which is fine, and we will be back on Friday with game 11 in some kind of lineup. I don't, as always, I don't really know what the lineup will be on the day, but we will be. I mean, I will try to keep you updated on Twitter and yeah. Thanks everybody for watching, and we will be back on Friday. Thanks, Sergey, for coming on.
Thank you, Peter.
Miro?
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Come on, show up.
See you then.
Where are you? Drink with me.
Yeah. Here. Nothing.
You got
Absolutely
nothing.
left. So
Nothing works today.
okay, a few drops.
Cheers.
So cheers and see you
Yep.
next time.
Bye.
See you.